Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about something that I've been dealing with for a couple months now. I want to know if anybody else is dealing with this. I saw some YouTube videos about it, but I wanted to share sort of my version of it, see if anybody else has the same version, and if so, what did you do about it, and if you have any advice. So, I think I mentioned I'm tired, it's late, that I have depersonalization. Not derealization, although they are usually grouped together. So my outside world is normal and seems the same way it should be, but it's internally that I have the issues. And what it feels like, and I'm not religious, and you don't have to be religious to believe in souls, but I don't believe in having a soul necessarily, but what it does feel like is sort of like my soul is missing. Like the essence of who I am, my identity, my self-identity is sort of vanished, and I feel like a stranger in my own body. Now, that sounds really dramatic. However, it is in fact a very dramatic experience. I first experienced it when I was in college. I'm in college. I look young for my age, but yes, I am in college. I'm a sophomore. And, yeah, so I experienced it and freaked the hell out. Like, I was so nervous I was alone. This only happened when I was alone in the beginning. I threw up from anxiety. I was just panicked. It was so scary. You feel like you don't know who you are, and yeah, essentially basically you feel like your soul is just gone. And if I had heard that and had not experienced this, I would be like, what the hell? So, hopefully you kind of know what I'm talking about. Well, no, I definitely don't hope you know what I'm talking about. But if you do, if you've experienced it, then you might have some idea. So I woke up one morning and I felt this way. And then I went back to sleep and I was fine. Like, I freaked out and then I kind of rolled over and tried to fall back asleep. And I was very tired, so it somehow worked. And then I started to feel it again. And then it just became full-fledged constant, and I called my mom, hysterically crying. I really didn't want to, but I needed to say something. I couldn't handle it. I was running from one room to the next in my dorm, trying to run away from the feeling, and I just couldn't, obviously, because you are with yourself all the time. So, I looked into possible causes for this sort of depersonalization. And I know that it's, one other thing I want to say is that when I look in the mirror, it feels like I'm looking at somebody else. It doesn't feel like it's me. I feel very disconnected from myself. And I think that's probably because when you don't have self-identity, I'm looking for it in my physical appearance. And I'm kind of seeing myself the way other people see me. Because normally you see yourself the way you feel internally. But since I don't have that feeling, I'm looking at myself as if I'm an outside observer in the mirror. Sorry if that was confusing. I don't feel like I'm outside of myself like some people feel with depersonalization. I don't feel like I'm in a movie or in a fog or in a daze. I just feel a lack of connection to myself, which is very, very unsettling to say the least. But I'm taking some medication which has helped drastically. Like, I couldn't fall asleep. I had to stay with my computer by my face, like on Facebook or on something, until like 5 in the morning. I'd be exhausted, but I wouldn't be able to be alone with my thoughts. I'd have to wait until my eyes couldn't stay open, and I'd fall asleep like that after being on the computer. So I couldn't be alone with my thoughts. I had to stay on the computer until literally it took me 1 second to fall asleep. So my sleep was affected. My schoolwork was definitely affected. It was towards the end of the semester. And I saw a psychiatrist, as I was saying. I saw a psychiatrist over my winter break, and she gave me Ativan and Zoloft, and I'm on 200 milligrams of Zoloft right now. I was obviously very depressed. I felt like I gave myself 2 years. If I stayed feeling that way for 2 years, I was done. I couldn't do it. And just walking around not only feeling so terrible, but feeling like knowing that you can't deal with this forever and that you're going to kill yourself if it stays this way is just beyond terrifying and depressing and just living nightmare. So, I I heard also, what I was going to say is I heard that it can be caused by anxiety, so it could be anxiety provoked, and then I also heard one that's a cause that's a little bit less common, but I think relates more to me, which is feeling, I can actually tell you exactly what it is. I looked up some information about it, basically, because it's very, very obscure. It's not well known by the medical community, unfortunately. An intense internal conflict that forces the mind to separate incompatible or unacceptable knowledge, information, or feelings. So that happened to me because I guess I was feeling one way about myself and then completely different on another level. And I mean, that's basically all the specifics I can go into, but it definitely had some incompatibilities, some contradictions, and I guess I woke up not knowing who I am. So I'm all over the place, but I'm on Zoloft now, and it has helped so dramatically. I mean, the depersonalization is still there, but I'm living a little bit more now. Like, I couldn't be alone at all. Even with my computer, I was just anxious all the time. I was full of anxiety, full of depression and horrible thoughts. I couldn't fall asleep. Couldn't get it out of my head. It was bad. It's still very, very bad, but it is not as, I'm still in hell, but it's not as fiery, basically. And I can be distracted for periods of time, but when I remember, it's there again. And the sad thing is I've always known myself really well, or thought I did. I always kept a journal. I always, like to reflect and think about how I feel about things. And when you feel like you don't know who you are, it's just awful. So I'm also taking Ativan for, like, on-the-spot anxiety, so before I go to sleep, so because I know I'm going to be alone with my thoughts and all that kind of stuff. So I try not to take too much of that. So yeah, if you have experienced anything that I'm talking about, it would be really great, leave a response video or just a comment, anything. If you know of anybody who has experienced this and who got help, or anything. Any information would be wonderful. Negative information, probably not so much. And, I mean, by watching this, if you've watched this whole thing so far, then you probably have either experienced it or are interested in it, because this has probably been kind of boring. But, I can be happy talking to people. I can be happy knowing that I'm doing something that is good, but I'm very sad. I'm very sad with my situation. I just want it to go away. I don't know how it's going to go away. I just want help. So, without getting too depressing, it's not easy. So, if you know anything, or you have any ideas for me, please let me know. Okay. And if you are experiencing this, I'm truly sorry. I'm here to talk, and I wish you the best of luck.